Okay, so we're here at the Gazprom International Dragon World Championship. It's day 2. Unfortunately today we didn't get a race. We were on the water for a long time. We're going to explain exactly to you all what happened. I have with me here Tim Hancock, the principal race officer. Now Tim, weren't you doing in the Olympics, weren't you a race officer for one of the fleets?
Yeah, I ran the Stars and Fins at the Games.
Okay, great. That was back in 2000...
Last year. Here.
Yeah, here. And today we had a 2-race day, supposedly.
Yeah.
So it meant that if we could get out early, we should.
Yeah.
Now the forecast was northwest later in the day.
Yeah.
And in the morning it was coming from completely opposite direction.
Correct.
So what was your thoughts for sending everybody out? What was your thoughts on the day?
I was conscious of trying to get 2 races in, as you say.
Yeah.
Now, there was a small window I felt where we can get a race on the southeasterly direction.
Right.
So we went out there at around 9:15 this morning, and there was 9-10 knots from the southeast.
Yes.
So I was optimistic that we might get a short race. There's always a chance it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
As it turns out, the wind died out a lot earlier than we originally thought.
Yes.
So there's always a challenge about do you keep the fleet ashore or not.
Sure.
It takes you 90 minutes to get out to the start area.
I understand, because it takes so long to get out.
Absolutely.
But if there was a chance,
You'd have
so then we bobbed around for a while, and the wind then started to clock right, didn't it?
Yes, it went everywhere first.
Yes.
And we set up on the 240 direction.
Yeah. Was that one of our first starts?
Yes, it was.
Right.
Yeah, and then you were all over the line because of the tide pushing over the line.
Yes.
So we recalled that.
Of course, by that time it was about, 2 o'clock, something like that?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
We had, the tide was slackish when we would have started today,
Correct,
wasn't it?
that's right, yeah.
And like with similar days before, when the tide does start to ebb here, a lot of boats, when the wind's in this direction, will obviously get pushed over the line, and that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So then you put a black AP to start, didn't you? Then
we did the recall first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line was good.
Yeah.
Just that the area over the line because of the tide.
Yeah.
Okay, then we then tried to start again.
Yes.
Yeah. And
giving
then,
us the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Then we went to black flag.
Yeah.
But we AP'd that because the wind had shifted 20 degrees right.
Okay. Now at this stage, some of the competitors noticed that we were quite close to the right-hand shore.
Yeah.
And what was your reason for that?
Well, I thought we'd start a race in 240, 260, all right? And also that we're still 1.3 miles from the shore.
Okay.
So I thought that was enough to, even if we went further north than that, to give you enough lane.
Right. And the main reason that we weren't more in the centre part of the bay is tide issue, is it?
Yes, that's correct. The tide increases if you go more in the centre of the bay.
Right.
So there's always a balance. You've got very long beats, the 2 mile plus beats.
Sure.
It's a challenge. We can start you there, but you'd have been pushed over the line even more at the start.
Yeah, sure. Well, I know that if it's any help for tomorrow,
Sure.
Speaking from the fleet, that I think they would rather deal with the tide.
Yep.
And have leaving you more scope.
Okay.
For your
That's
course.
fine.
Of course, you then tried to start another race when the wind was at 280.
Correct.
And what happened with that one? That was a big shift again, wasn't it?
280, I AP'd it very late. It went to 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it went to 310.
Yeah.
Then it came back to 280.
Yeah.
And we got you away on 280.
Right.
And then at that point, about 2 minutes after the start, there was a 50 degree shift to the right.
Yeah.
At 320.
Yeah, we were fortunately one of the boats that started at the committee boat.
Oh, there you go.
And without even tacking, we were overlaying the buoy.
Exactly right. So I let it run for a few minutes to see if it was going to come back.
If it switched back, which we were all praying
absolutely.
At our end. Yeah,
absolutely. And it didn't, and so that's why I abandoned the race.
Okay, which was obviously the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Now tell me, we still had a fair bit of time in the day then.
Yeah.
What was the reason for not waiting a bit longer and then racing us now?
Well, if you remember, I originally put up N flag to bound the race, and I was planning to relay, and I actually was starting moving to relay more into the centre of the course to allow for that direction, because you're right, the forecast around 4 or 5 o'clock was always to be a northwesterly.
Yeah.
Yeah, really 3.
Which is what we've got now.
Absolutely right, beautiful breeze now, but I got a call saying, no, they've had enough today, send them in.
Okay. Well, I can tell you all now that the reason that this call came was that certain competitors were using the radio to advise Tim on what he should be doing. And this, of course, is completely wrong. Tim, actually, I don't think you were aware of it.
I didn't hear any of it.
Because
no.
Tim is on another channel as he's trying to organise it. Now, obviously, there's a frustration does creep in particularly as we've been on the water for at least 6-7 hours by then. But those individuals have been told that it's not the done thing in any class, and we certainly don't want it in the Dragon class, so we apologise for that.
Well, I didn't hear it, but anyway, thank you.
So tell me now, prospects for tomorrow and the rest of the week?
Well, as you know, it's been 2 tricky days, big shifts, big rain clouds, rain again today.
Yeah.
But next 2 days look really good. So northwesterlies again.
Yeah.
All right, so we will come further offshore.
Yes.
So less influence from the shore, but you will have more tide at the starting area.
Yeah, which I think they're going to have to live with.
I'll remind you that tomorrow when you get pushed over the line. That's fine.
Well, that's the name of the game.
No, absolutely.
Everyone out there is able to judge their own boat speed and things.
Good. But northwesterly, 15, 20 knots tomorrow.
Is it? Right.
Steady all day, and Wednesday's very similar.
Right.
So the plan is 2 races tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'd hope to catch up one of the races we lost today on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, I will tell you another thing that I'm speaking from the fleet is I'm sure that they would rather have quality races rather than quantity. And I think we have a target of minimum of 5, isn't it?
That's correct for a series. That's correct.
So I would say that the fleet would rather not have what we call Mickey Mouse short races, where we're all piling together at the windward marks.
That's the challenge. Yep.
So, I would say stick to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Get the long beats in first.
Yeah.
And get the first race out of the way. And then if conditions allow, crack on with the second one.
No, as you know, 2 race days is a target time shorter anyway.
Yeah.
But we'd always give you the long first beat.
Yes.
To separate the fleet.
Sure.
Then shorten up later on in the race if we need to.
Yeah. So I think we can all look forward to some great racing to come, and we'll let you know what happens tomorrow. Like I said, 2 races. We could all be coming in absolutely knackered tomorrow, I think.
Might be.
And so we'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for your efforts today, Tim.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Thank you.